from the standpoint of timeline, I just wanted to start by asking, where do you feel the department is based on our posture for implementing everything that needs to happen so that we have a successful 2020 season of elections, both primary and general?
And are you asking about everything, the voting systems upgrade and Act 77 and kind of all things that go into elections?
Right, just as far as where we sit right here in February, do you believe that the department is where it needs to be so that we can avoid any kind of chaos both for May and November this year, so that whatever the outcome of the election is, everyone can agree that there is confidence that those results are what they should be?
Absolutely, 100%. So first of all, with regard to the voting systems upgrade, happy to say that 100% of the counties as of December 30th voted to select new voting systems. Delivery has, and 45 of the counties had already rolled them out in 2019. So there's 22 counties that are rolling them out for the first time in either April or in one of the special elections before April. They have been, they have been very closely in touch with us. We were much more, as a result of some of the lessons that we learned from November about not having enough scanners in some of the counties and so forth. I think, the counties that were remaining, nobody wants to be the focus, right? Let's just be honest. So that's been, and Act 77 has been, the $90 million, of course, has also been very helpful at us saying to the counties, order every piece of equipment that you need. Every piece of equipment. Don't hold back. You're going to be getting most of your reimbursement for this. The payoff is obviously far outweighs any cost. So the counties have been doing that, and they've been purchasing, they've been talking to us. Jonathan and our team have been talking to vendors. I had spoken in November at a hearing before the Senate talking about all the things we were going to do. That's all been happening. We've been talking to counties, been talking to vendors, whether it's printers or voting system manufacturers or the, all the different component pieces that go into it. Those conversations have been being had. The counties are are training their poll workers, their election officials, making sure that they understand how to program so that some of the human errors that happened in a couple of counties in November don't happen again. So the transition to the new voting systems is going great. The delivery is, the places where they are still getting delivered, it's all been on track, and I have very, very high confidence. Act 77 on, the other side, but not the other side, but just an additional thing, also high confidence in where we are. So right after Act 77 was passed, we created a work group kind of command center with the counties. So we had a conversation with CCAP within, a day of Act 77 passing. Maybe it was same day. And there was a recommendation that we create this very active work group. So that involves election directors, county commissioners, and CCAP from at least 11 counties, all different shapes and sizes across the Commonwealth, Department of State, and other folks who are the CCAP, CIO, and other folks, to make sure that each piece of that puzzle, whether it's revising forms and envelopes to online information to training, all that is being carried out. So I want to say the counties are doing phenomenal. It's been a terrific partnership, and I have very high confidence in everything.
Thank you. And if I could follow up, because I did have one follow-up that I wanted to ask pertaining to the decertification of an existing election system that has a auditable, voter verifiable paper trail. Why was the example given previously in the questions was Chester County? Why was it necessary to decertify a system like that already had a voter verifiable paper trail and a auditable after the fact paper ballot? It seems that would have met all the criteria for a secure, safe, confident system, and it seemed like that might have been a decision to throw out the baby with the bathwater.
So that was the hardest question that really was part of this endeavor, this initiative, because they had a paper trail, as you said. The downside is what they had, their systems were still 15 years old. And so when you think about it in terms of the technology of the scanners, the copy machines and scanners that we used 15 years ago were not nearly as good as the scanners that we have now, the copies we have now. Neither the quality of, and when you think about like hand-marked paper ballots, sometimes people don't fully, fill in circles, or maybe there's you've got oil on your finger and it smudges. The old systems are much more likely to pick up those kinds of inaccuracies than the new ones. In addition, the new ones, they have much higher security standards because, as I started out earlier saying, we created these very stringent security standards for every piece of equipment being used in the Commonwealth. So every one of our new systems has gone through penetration testing by experts. It's gone through access control testing to make sure that every potential access point is secure. So all the old systems were created even before the federal EAC, the Election Assistance Commission, even existed. So they had none of those protections. So basically, that's why they were included, is to make sure that they were offering voters the same protections and the same advances that every other voter in the Commonwealth would have. And in addition, the ADA accessible machines that even Chester County and any paper trail, already existing paper trail county had to have, again, that those needed to be up to par as well. So does that answer your question?
It does, and I know I'm out of time. I'll just wrap up by saying that I would express some concern if we're in a position where we have to replace our election systems every 15 years. We use them 2 days a year, so that every 30 days we're throwing out our computer and replacing it. I have a concern with that, so I hope going forward we've got systems that have staying power. Thank you.